Hello there, this is Alan Collins, and you're listening to the
Stoned Roadie Show.
Rise and shine, everybody. It's time to wake and bake with Craig Reed and Griff Martin.
It's a Stoned Roadie Show, podcast 271. Action. Well, good morning, Stoned Roadie Nation. This is Wake and Bake episode 143, and welcome. My name's Craig Reed, aka the Stoned Roadie, and this is my co-host, co-pilot, and the rocket scientist, Griff Martin. So what the heck are we going to talk about on this fine Monday morning, January the 13th there, Griff?
Well, we had a big flood. Then now we have a big fire. Now all we need is a blizzard to top it off.
I smoked a great big old fatty here just a second ago.
Yeah, I know.
Had a little wake and bake. You know, I got to do that to put up with all the stupidity in this country there, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's not getting any easier every day. So, I mean, if you think about it, we've had so many things happen. You know, you had Hawaii burn, and you had President T shot at, and then or shot in the ear. Then you had the flood. Then you had the wildfires. Now you got drones flying around, and then fog. If somebody doesn't think that there's something don't smell like a rat, then I smell a rat on that, because it's just out of control. But got some good news amongst all of the bad news, Craig. That, I mean, it's probably the best news that I can say I've heard, and everyone else will agree with me. You know, Gene Odom was getting a biopsy for to find out how advanced his prostate cancer was that he was diagnosed with. And when they did the biopsy, they said, no cancer present. So, you know, Lynyrd Skynyrd Nation prayers are powerful, man, because the doctor said he don't understand it. He said everything pointed to it. You know, the physical exam, the blood work, but the biopsy doesn't lie. And so our beloved Gene Odom does not have prostate cancer. So that's just amazing. And you know, there were so many people who were relieved to hear that, because we needed some good news. And you know, and the Gene Odom bad luck, I guess this time it was some good luck. So what do you think about that, Craig?
Well, I'm just happy to hear that for sure. Yeah, you told me that, and I said, wow, that was weird. I talked to Cousin Figel, and I told him too. He was glad to hear that. And also, Cousin Figel, he's the one that sent me these. Now, when I looked in the pack, they look black, but on the camera here, they kind of look blue, but they're supposed to be Confederate gray. But yeah, Cousin Figel, that's the color of them. But they're more, I don't know. That's, I'm colorblind. He thought they were Confederate gray, but anyway.
Well, that's what you use to blow your nose with, isn't it?
Yeah, they're just snot rags, yeah.
Yeah, you remember back in the day, Craig, when you were young, and all the old guys that were going around that are our age now, and you know, we were little whippersnappers, and the guys that are our age now, they always had a snot rag in their pocket, and they called it a handkerchief, you know. And I remember, you know, one time I got something on my hand, you know, and this old guy, here, take my handkerchief. And I'm looking at it like, man, I just saw you blow your nose on that, you know. I mean, they used to offer their snot rag up to you all the time if you needed a rag for something, you know, even when you were working with them or whatever. You know, those Apollo guys, those guys that worked in the Apollo program, they'd hand you their snot rag. Here, you cut your finger. Here, man, here, take this. Yeah, let me put your snot on my cut.
Well, you know them Lynyrd Skynyrd guys. They forced me to snort that cocaine, and kind of messed my nose up. That's why I'm blowing my nose.
I know, man. You could
Especially in the
probably
wintertime. Wintertime, my nose runs.
sue
Yeah, that's
them
what
for
it's
that.
from. They forced me to snort that damn cocaine. A lot of it too. Jesus Christ, I snorted a lot of that stuff.
Well, if you didn't, it would have been a hostile workplace.
It was funny the other day. Somebody mentioned something about Charlie Daniels used to talk about smoking weed and stuff. They said the last time they saw him in concert, he was talking about locking all the drug dealers and the dope heads up in prison. And I said, "Oh, that's awful amusing. I've snorted cocaine with Charlie a few times. Matter of fact, one time in particular, God, we had the mirror down off the wall. It was all the band guys and Charlie, and we had a bunch of coke, and we pulled the mirror down off the wall in the hotel, and we just laid out all the lines. And Billy come over, and he couldn't lay his beer down on the bed because it would tip over. So he thought he'd lay it down on the mirror. It tipped over. Bumbling Billy, beer all over the mirror with all that cocaine, and everybody's trying to get it up before it all got wet. He wasn't a very popular bumbling Billy in the party.
Well, Alan would have just said, "Oh, we got more."
Oh yeah. No, that was back in the early days
Before you could afford it. Yeah. Oh,
it was a big pile.
that was Charlie's coke.
We was drinking it
Snorting
wasn't
whiskey.
nothing wrong. It was just a beer mixed with cocaine.
So maybe that's where, maybe that's where that
It didn't get wasted, but it wasn't as funny.
maybe that's where was Pat Travers there?
No, I just
Snorting
remember
whiskey
Charlie.
and drinking cocaine. And then earlier before when Craig and I, Craig says, let's go on a certain time, and then we go on, and then I sit there and wait for Craig to get ready. And then he he forgot something or something. I didn't know what was wrong, and he's like, "Damn!" like real loud, and then I go, "What'd you do, man? You shart in your pants?" And then he goes, "No, I forgot something." And then that led to that story when Jane Van Zant
Down
saw
at the Rockin' for a Reason. Rockin' for a Reason.
Jane Van Zant thought Craig shit in his pants. And so what happened was I was going around in the crowd there, and somebody came up and goes, "Hey, is Craig going to be all right?" And I go, "What do you mean?" Yeah, I heard he ain't doing too good. And I go, "Like what? Like what?" "Well, he's shitting his pants." And I was like, "What?" And so then about that time I saw Craig, and I went over to him, and he was looking for me. "Man, you got to take me home. I messed up my pants." And I was like, "Oh God, I don't know if I want to drive him home with shit in his pants," or he's going back to Chad's house to change. And then kind of find out he sat in some what was it, coffee beans with chocolate?
Yeah, I eat those. I was driving down to Florida, and that's how I stay awake. I eat those dark chocolate coffee beans. I got a bag full of them. I had them in the car, and I was eating them coffee beans. They fell down in between my pants. It did look like I shit myself. It was funny.
And that's his story, and he's sticking to it. But Jane Van Zant is the one who saw it. That's what makes it so.
Well,
funny.
She said, turn around. I said, she wanted to take a picture. Looked like she wanted to take a picture of my ass. I went, "What the hell's going on, Jane?" She goes, "It looked like you shit your pants." I go, "What?" So yeah, she took a picture and showed me. I said, "Oh shit, it does look like I shit my pants."
I believe it was true because I drove you back to Chad's house to change, and you didn't stink. So I believe you.
Well, my shit don't stink though.
But that was a long drive, man.
Oh, it was, man. God damn, Jack. It was all the way across Jacksonville. It was a 40-minute drive.
Yeah, we
it's a
probably would have
bitch.
been better if we'd went to a clothes drop off somewhere and just got your pair of pants out of there. Well, I mean, we all might be doing that before long when we get an EMP strike, right, Craig? We'll
I
all be
guess, yeah.
scratching for food that which brings me to old when I did that on the road up in North Carolina with the flood, and I met John Grinstead. Man, that guy, he's suffering pretty bad. It's snowing up there now, and they got snow on the ground. And somebody donated him a 25-foot travel trailer. He had like about a 10-foot one, and he had two of those, and he got that 25-foot one and gave that other one that he had, one of the ones he had, away to somebody else. But his water tank busted, Craig, and now he doesn't have. They have to get like a 5-gallon pail of water to take a bath out of and stuff like that. And so anyway, if anybody didn't see that, John Grinstead, you can go to the Griff Martin files if you don't look it up on the podcast list. But I'm going to put together a little concert. Me and Gene are working on it. We're going to have like some bands up there around that area. And the John Williams, the Tower guy, one of the podcast fans at Craig and friends with Gene, is kind of helping him out. He went and drove over there to help him out today, and so that's what's cool, man. We've met a lot of cool people on here, right, Craig, that do a lot of great things.
Yeah. I've known John for a little bit. Yeah, he's come by here before. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he builds those big towers, those big cell phone towers, and some of them are 2,000 feet in the air. And man, they've lost, like, he loses like 8-9 people a year that he knows from falling from those things.
Oh yeah. He said people fill out their resumes and he hires them and they get about 1,000 feet in the air and they start shitting like a dog shitting.
Yeah, because you got to climb it, and then they freestyle.
Well, he said He said the 15-foot, 100-foot towers. It takes an hour and a half to climb them.
Oh,
I
and
said,
you got to
dude,
be
get
in
you
good
one of them
shape.
drones like Robert Wheatley's got, and send that sucker up. He said, I never really thought about it. Don't you need a license? But you do. If you go up 1,500 feet, you need a license. If you could only go up 400 feet, you don't need a license. That's the maximum you're supposed to fly a drone, but you can get a special permit to get up that high.
Yeah, we used to
you have
use
to have a
them.
license to do that.
We used to use them out on our towers to inspect the towers, and they could punch in the route, and they just save it. And every time you go out there to do maintenance or an inspection, they just bring up that old route and they punch it in, and that drone flies that same route, goes to every level, looks at all the bolts, all the swedges on the cables, and the fist grips and sheaves and whatnot, and it saves the company a lot of time and money, those drones. But now we're getting attacked by them, so
Well, I messed with this microphone the whole podcast last night.
I know, I saw it.
That was what I was messing with this thing the whole time. I couldn't get the thing to tighten down. Oh well.
And then old Six Gun, man, they're kicking out, man. I heard a good recording today of that smell. Those guys just sounded really good, man.
It was spot on. Yeah. Mick and Zach and Savannah, man.
Yeah, you guys need to check out Six Gun.
She's got the gift. Well, they all do, man. All them guys got the gift. But Savannah's she's only been playing for a couple of years, man. She's like.
And then Chad sounded just like Ronnie.
Oh, I commented today. I went, good job, Chad. He did a really
yeah. If anybody hasn't seen that, I think you can get it on iTunes, or I think you can go to Six Gun's Facebook page or website or whatever and check out They got some new material, and they bought that Smell out. And man, I've never heard a closer version. I'm sorry, even with a tribute band, it's just amazing.
It is good. They do it really well. And then their new single, One More Try. I like that one a lot too.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That's a good song. It's got a good.
And so yeah, when I throw that concert up there, it's going to be pretty near them. I don't know. Maybe we'll see if they'll come out and do that. I'm going to
It'd be
kind of
pretty
put
cool.
together.
Yeah, nobody's
Yeah.
really gone down there and done anything. It'd be pretty cool. Like if you could get it out.
Artemis has been around there, playing. I think he did a benefit for somebody because Scott Rains, he's pretty sympathetic towards those flood victims. I think he might live near there or
Well,
something. So
you can't help everybody, but you went up there, and that guy is your neighbor, and that kind of
yeah,
heartstrings with you. So
yeah,
it'll bring well. What needs to be done is needs to be attention brought to that, because it's kind of being forgotten about. And them freaking people down there are living in tents. It's freaking cold out. It's colder
yeah.
there than
It
it
is
is here,
bad.
and it's freaking cold here, man.
Yeah, and
I mean,
and
it's freaking cold.
he's really struggling, and it's all about networking too. I mean, it's not always about asking for money. It's, sometimes somebody might know somebody who's got a pile of wood laying around, or some rebar, or maybe somebody knows somebody who can, volunteer some time, to put the frame up of a wall, or, anything, it's just,
One lady was asking for plastic bags from the grocery store so they could use them for insulation.
yeah, it's bad. It's really cold right now.
Yeah.
And they're living in makeshift shelters because
Yeah,
they're wanting
yeah.
them. I think they want it to take their land. They want them to go, okay, we give, and then go live with, Aunt Alice or something. That's what they want.
Somebody donated a whole bunch of damn housing, and they didn't pass inspection. The little nit shit things that
Yeah.
need to be in.
Be curious
Such
to
chicken
see.
shit stuff, man. It's so bullshit. It's like those fires out there. People from other states wanted to come in with fire equipment, and they made them go through Sacramento and get inspected before they could even help them. People are nuts,
Those
man.
those
There's
woke
people.
man, those liberal wokes, like Trump
And all
said.
that shit about all the trash. What is there's a fish out there? Some little fish
Oh
they're
yeah,
trying to
there's a
save.
fish. Yeah,
And,
right.
and they were complaining about cleaning up all the trash that you would affect the grasshoppers. All them freaking grasshoppers are dead now, buddy. They're all burned
Well,
up.
well, they're all about taking the money and not doing with it what they're supposed to.
Well, it's funny right there. The whole right there where it all burned up. That's right where they want to put that new skyway in for the Olympics. That's just a coincidence, But
There's
yeah,
a lot of
I saw that
coincidence.
mayor say, as soon as we know who's responsible for this, they're gonna suffer at the fullest extent of the law. Freaking bullshit. Yeah, and that cracks me up. That freaking Joe gave that Soros the most prestigious civil award you can get.
Medal of Freedom.
Yeah, Medal of Freedom. And didn't he give Liz Cheney the same one? And what did he give Hillary? God,
No, he
what
gave
a
Hillary
freaking
that. Him
joke.
and
He
Hillary.
gave Hillary something.
Yeah, the Medal of Freedom, both of them.
Oh,
Got it.
oh man!
I believe.
And Liz
Oh,
is
I
the
hear.
one that lied about the January 6th stuff.
Giving Soros the Medal of Freedom is like giving
He
is
is
like
the damn
Batman.
biggest
Craig,
traitor there is.
it-
He's
it's
tried
like
to.
it's like
Oh my
Batman giving Mr. Freeze a medal. It's like that guy's a villain, man. He's a villain.
And Trump's the only going to be the only president in stated that's a felon. a federal felon. That's gonna go down in history. That's gonna be the biggest joke. It's just gonna backfire right in their face. My God, all this stupid stuff. You people that support them, God, what a
I
bunch.
don't think we got too
You
many
fool,
liberal.
you.
I don't think we have too many liberal people listening. I
No,
think we ran them
you
off.
never know.
Well, they might
You
be
would you
just
wouldn't think you wouldn't think 80% of the people out there listening are obese, but according to statistics they are, you know. Oh yeah, if you know, if you think you love yourself and you think you love yourself because every time you do something real good, you treat yourself to something to eat, that's not love, dude. You gotta love
You're
yourself.
loving yourself, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Loving yourself don't mean you treat yourself with a McDonald's hamburger every time you love yourself. Y'all people are sick, man. Gotta love yourself means you like yourself, you know? Means you look as good as you can. You know, a lot of you women out there could look a lot better if you lose 50 or 100 pounds. In my
But I think it's starting to come around, Craig. I think that, people are starting to become more aware of what they're eating and things because I've seen a lot. You kind of watch the trend on Facebook, what people talk about. There's still going to be some obese people, but I think for the most part, there's people that they're starting to realize they're getting poisoned.
Oh
You know?
yeah. Yeah, they sure are getting poisoned.
I mean, eventually, it might be easy. You go outside and you grab a chicken, and then you cut his head off. But then eventually they start figuring it out and they start running. You ever notice that with a chicken?
Oh
At
boy.
first, they think you're going to pick them up and pet them. Then they realize, oh no,
There it is.
we're getting eaten here.
Talking about chickens, there's one there. Wake up.
Yeah. Well, Craig, we got a lot of comments and questions here we need to jump into. And you were talking about the Whiskey A Go Go burning down,
I don't know
which
if it did or not.
no,
I
they
didn't
closed
understand.
it. They closed it. I don't think it
Oh,
burnt down. And speaking of that, Charles Duffy, who is Rock On, one of our subscribers, wants to know back in the 70s, tell us some stories about when Skynyrd played at the Whiskey A Go Go. He says he knows you know a story about it. Now let's have it.
uh, for, we opened up for Graham Central Station. Yeah, or they we opened for them, or they opened for us. For Lynyrd Skynyrd. Um, it was really weird. That was the first. A story about myself. That was really weird because that was the first gig I did as a drum roadie. That was my very first gig, the
Oh,
very
really?
first time I set drums up. Yeah. So we went in there and I set the drums up all the way at the end instead of in the middle. I set them all the way. I don't know. God, I even forget now what I did something really stupid, but I think that's what I did.
Oh, really? Did they have to move them?
Well, I don't know. I just remember I set the drums up wrong in the whiskey. I think I was trying to set them up on the in the
Did
end of
did
the
did
stage.
somebody yell at you about it?
Kevin and Joe just laughed at me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was no big deal. I mean, it's just the stage is real small, and the stage is kind of high compared to where the crowd is. And
What were there anybody there?
Ronnie was spitting. They were mobbing the stage, and they were, they got a pretty good response there. And Ronnie was spitting whiskey on and drink on the what do you call it? Sunset, uh, Hollywood, the Hollywood crowd, the
He
Holly
was
Weirds,
he was spitting
those
on the
Holly
Hollywood.
Weirds
He was spitting whiskey on the people in the crowd.
on the Holly Weird women. Yeah,
What were they doing when he did
they
that?
were just, the L.A. chicks. They're just weird.
Did they like it or?
I don't remember. I just remember he was spitting whiskey on him. I don't remember.
Did you see anybody there that was like a famous people that came to see him or anything?
There were some, yeah, there were famous people there. I don't remember now at the time.
How crowded was it?
It was that place only holds 350 people.
So it was packed in there.
Yeah,
What
it
was
was packed.
what did they like the show?
Oh yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, there was people. They were.
Damn, man, can you even believe you were at the Whiskey a Go Go with frickin' Skinner
Oh,
and that's like
from the very get go. I mean, even in Kent State and stuff in the early days, the crowd was very responsive. Even after the first record, when I was with them, going into this, yeah, they played at Kent, and then they played at Akron Civic, and they played at Smiling Dog Saloon, and yeah, the crowd was very responsive. Yeah, I was going, whoa.
how long were you guys in California there? Or did you go other
6 weeks, something like that.
yeah, what all places did you hit while you were there?
That time, none of us had any money then.
I mean, no, I'm talking about venues in California. You
No, we
just
didn't. We did there, and then we did San Diego Sports Arena. That was like the first big gig I did with Dave Mason, and he was really good. He
Oh
was
yeah.
like he
Yeah,
was like
he's still doing good.
yeah, he was like the closest I ever seen Skinner to not being blown off the stage, but you know he gave
Yeah,
Skinner a
he's
good run
damn
for
good.
money. He was real good. But that was the first place where my expertise came into play, going out and picking up chicks and bringing them backstage and copping drugs. Yeah, I
Oh
remember.
yeah,
I
that's that
remember.
where you cut
Yeah, I
your teeth?
remember. I remember going out in the crowd after we opened up, and I went out in the crowd and picked up chicks and drugs and brought them back to the dressing room. I remember that. Yeah.
So is that where you found out you had a niche for that?
Oh, I knew I had a niche for it.
Is that the first time you did it, or did
That's
you
the
do it?
first time I did it, but yeah, it's just like copping drugs on the street. You just use the same
But yeah, but it's
approach.
right. But you didn't have to go anywhere, and it was
Yeah,
probably less dangerous.
I was used to dealing drugs on the street, so I was pretty comfortable.
So give me an idea how it worked. Did you go just see somebody like some hot chick and
I
then
just
go,
say, hey, you want to come backstage and party with Lynyrd Skynyrd? And they go, it wasn't hard. It was like, yeah.
but did you say you got any drugs?
Well, I normally the ones I picked, it looked like they had drugs.
Oh, what does that look like? What does that look like,
Well,
Craig?
drugs was just secondary. If they had drugs, that was just a bonus.
Yeah, you could tell by the way they talked or the way they.
Drugs were just a bonus sometimes.
Back then, I think everybody had some, because
Oh yeah.
just like Gary used to say, oh, Ed was stingy. He never shared his drugs. You didn't share any of your school lunch. It's like, and everybody had drugs, and if you didn't share them, you were stingy. That's why it's so funny because Gary, that was a way of life for him.
Hey, before I space this out, we did have another for Randall. We've been getting a few for Randall here. That's real good,
Oh
man.
yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
we got another $100 from Stephen Pittman. We got $100
Great,
for
thank you,
Randall.
Stephen. Randall is going to
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, and then we got that Alan Borg, the guy that had brought the book by here. He gave us that $100 a few days ago, and then Chris Eldridge, he's always real generous with us with the Survivor stuff. He'd give us $50, and then Donald Johnson, he gave us $50, and then we started out with the Alan Collins spiritual donation, which I loaned Alan $100 to go in. So we got $400 going for Randall.
Yeah, Randall Hall is having some health issues, and anybody that Randall Hall, he was with hanging with Skynyrd before they even cut their first when they were doing top 20s.
He was friends with them for years and years and years.
And was in Slowpoke, and he used to be really good friends with Alan Collins, and ended up replacing Alan. So yeah, we trying to, anybody wants to raise or send some money for Randall Hall, right there is Craig's P.O. Box, Craig Reed, P.O. Box 442, Green, Ohio 44232. And that would be greatly appreciated. And
then there's my email address if anybody wants to comment to me personally or whatever, or make bids on anything we got going. We still got those cameras that I got here. If I don't get
actually
any action on them before Robert gets him, I'm just going to give them back. But he's got those drones. You guys are missing out on this stuff. I'm going to tell you what.
Well, actually, LS Freebird put in the comments that I believe she was interested. She'd buy that camera if she felt like she could take it in a venue.
Heck yeah, man. Shit, yeah. It don't even look like a camera.
Right. That's the thing, because when I went to the Black Crows and I went with our STONED Shelby, and it says on a sign out there, no recording devices. And when you go, and then whenever the bands break out and they start playing, everybody's got their cell phone in the air recording it. So you've got 1,000 cell phones recording, and I don't think anybody's going to say anything about this little camera here.
Plus
that's how big it is right there.
This one you can operate with one hand, and it's Bluetooth, so you can hold your arm way up in the air, and you can have your cell phone in your hand. And you can look in your cell phone and see what's being captured on the phone. You can be having that like this, and you can see what you're recording on your phone because it's Bluetooth. So you can, everybody else has got to be holding their thing up like this and trying to.
Right, and it's smooth.
You just hold your hand up and look in your phone, and you can see what you're recording. It's very cool.
It's got a gimbal on it, and that gimbal, it keeps everything. It's like it's basically.
It'll follow people around if you put it in the mode where you want to follow an individual.
It's like a gyro,
That's what the gimbal does. It just moves, and and you can run with that camera, and it's like a gyro. It won't bounce around and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, and you can lock it on like a person. And then when they move, it follows them. It's got so many things in there, it takes a little while to figure it out, but once you do, it's pretty cool. Really cool. If somebody, I think Craig said he'd take $360 or something. If somebody doesn't snag that up, man, that's crazy.
Well, from now on, if you buy them all, we're going to do them for $450. But since I've already got it, we've already offered it, and we've already sold it for $350. We'll do it this time. But yeah, the guy that bought for $350 never paid, and then somebody else wanted to know what the highest bid was for it. He wanted it, and then I told him $375 he could have it, and he didn't ever respond. And then the guy that bought the first one, he did pay me, but I lost the check.
The memory card's this big right here, and it's just everything's so compact. And and it has a mic that you can it has two mics, a mic built in, and then it's got a portable mic. So it's really cool. So anyway, to get back to these comments, John Meyer, he says, Griff, what do you think about getting automotive over there with a camera to follow Craig around while he looks for that tackle box? Well, you know what I got to say about that is Craig ain't going to do that. You could drive all the way from where I live up to Craig's and go, okay, Craig, I'm ready. Let's go looking. And he'll go, let me smoke a bowl first. And then it'll be something else. And then it'll be something else. He ain't going to do it. He ain't going to. He just ain't going to do it.
When it's a priority, I'll do it. I ain't got, you know, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna show people what's in it. And that's the end of that story.
I don't know, man. I'm starting to lose hope.
I think somebody said that I did say that I would get rid of a couple of things, and there are a couple of duplicates in there from where I can remember, bobbers and stuff like that.
As many times as you people put that comment like that in these comments, I'm going to read it. So until Craig does something about it,
I'll get it.
I'm going to report what the subscribers want. I'm not going to hold back. So
I'll
don't
look
feel
for it.
bad
I'll
about
look for it.
Tom.
I'll look for it later on this morning. I'll look for it.
Yeah, I got to get on that ass a little bit so Craig will get busy.
Maybe I'll find it. Maybe by Wednesday I'll find it. Or Friday.
I mean, you got 18 people that are starting.
I'll try to find it. I seriously will try to find it this week.
You said that back in Christmas.
I think I've been thinking about it. I think I know where it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You've been like, if I had something I'd lost and I went, I think I know where it is, my ass is going to get up and go look right then, unless it's buried somewhere, you know. But if you think you know where it is, go look. Matter of fact, I'll wait for you. So yeah, okay, John. He's we're going to inspire him some more. And then Patricia Lynn, let's see, how about, oh, yeah, she says she wants to know when's Chad and Sue going to come back.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe when Chad just got that camera, maybe we can get him to. And he's got that other microphone, too. Now he can just stick it on Sue.
Yeah, he don't need to come on the show. He can just do
I'll get on him about it. I don't know. He's got to talk to his mom. I don't know. I think she said she'd do another one.
Yeah, he could put it on a tripod and then just, they can hold the mic and then we can, listen to him interview or something.
Yeah, I'll get him to. He's not working now. I'll get him to do it.
Yeah.
Or he's slow. He's work slow now.
And then Donald Johnson, in the early days, did anyone ever get left behind because they missed the bus?
No.
Like, like anybody, did you ever go, hey, where's Leon? Or how did you account for everybody? Because it seemed like
the only thing I can think of is one time I was in charge of doing the luggage, and we were leaving, and the hotel said we left a couple of bags behind. Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of bad.
Yeah, because they no telling what's in there.
Yeah, I think they were Billy's bags. Yeah. One time I left a couple, but we had just left. It's not like, we just had to turn around and go back and get it.
How did you find out?
The hotel called the cell phone, one of the cell phones.
Oh, it was during the cell phone days.
Yeah, and said, hey, you left a couple of bags here.
Yeah, but if that had happened before cell
That,
phones,
that fucking Craig, he's a pothead. He was drunk last night. That's why he left our bags. That fucking pothead. He's worthless.
yo, is that Billy talking?
I don't know. I'm just jibber jabbering. I don't give a shit. Call me stupid. I don't care. I was in a plane crash. You gonna make fun of me because of it?
And then Kimmy says she went to a funeral. She lost a friend. Sorry to hear that, Kimmy. God bless you. I know how that feels. I've lost a lot of friends, and so has Craig. And Craig actually is almost a sole survivor, you know. And she says, "I'm a great cook and a great lover. I wanted to be a bodybuilder, but my dad said no, so I opted for the wrong guy." And what's funny is I think Kimmy's husband might watch the podcast, you know, and she's always talking about how he ain't worth a shit. Kimmy, man, she's a little bit like Craig. She just don't say what she thinks, you know. Uh yeah, but if you're a great lover, but your husband, so I don't know what's going on there, because you guys don't get along, but you're a great lover. So I don't know about that, Kimmy. Something going on there. Uh, let's see, Michael Boy. We're all being stalked. Direct energy weapons, microwave, V2K, and chemtrails. Oh, there's just a lot of crazy stuff going on, and I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I know we're breathing and they're spraying stuff on us and we're eating, and there's things that we're doing that we just can't live without doing because we don't know what they're doing, and they're doing it to us like lab rats. But you'd think that if they're spraying chemtrails, the people that are in charge of spraying it, they're breathing that shit too. So I don't get it unless they're living on the other side of the Arctic Circle, right, Craig?
I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on. Everything's put. Now they're saying that the snow isn't right. There's something in the snow, and the damn drumsticks aren't even ice cream, and the McDonald's ice isn't even ice, and all kind of crazy stuff, man. It's
But
just like
here's what's weird is I saw a picture of Bill Gates standing at a hot dog stand waiting to get, and I swear it wasn't photoshopped. I'm like,
oh, I saw the same thing. It was not a hot dog stand, was it? It was one of those street delis or whatever.
yeah, I mean,
I
just,
don't know.
he's just eating the same shit he's dishing out. That's kind of crazy. That's what I mean. They're spraying chemtrails, but they're breathing that same shit we are, unless they're
Well,
not.
Trump's eating freaking McDonald's. God, man,
Doesn't make sense.
that's crazy.
Maybe they think that they're not hurting themselves. Maybe they know there's a drug they can take to counteract it or something. Maybe they have the vaccine for it, they think, or whatever. Um, yeah, so moving right along, Linda Joe LaCava. While we're all busy discussing all this stuff, that's when they get the dirty things done. I'm even questioning climate change. It could be just aliens under the ice poles. It's like somebody in here, I mentioned something about if it's climate change and the ice poles are melting, then why do all these elites and woke people have property right on the beach? And they said, well, they're raising up the road levels. Well, those hotels have been on the beach for years and years and years, and I mean they are having erosion, beach erosion. They do have problems with it, but it's beach erosion. It's not water levels. And yeah, you can Google it and it'll tell you that, but I don't believe a damn not everything Google says because they're part of the problem.
Well, I
So
believe some people, some of them fires were started by people
it had to be.
who instigated them starting as something else. But they said it was very strange that it's supposed to be forest fires or whatever, but there's a whole forest around here, and there's houses in the middle, and only the houses burnt.
Yeah, that's what's
Didn't
so
burn.
suspicious. It's
That's
just
kind of weird, you know.
yeah, it's just the neighborhoods that are
Yeah,
burning.
yeah, it's really strange, and
Man, but it
they canceled everybody's insurance just a little bit ago, and now everybody's looking to the government to bail out these insurance. Oh, it's just crazy. They've left Trump with a big pile of shit.
yeah, it might be their plan is to make Trump, give him so much shit to have to
He's so
deal
damn
with.
smart. He'll pull us out of this shit, man. He'll show them dirty bastards. In my opinion, man, it's going to take more than 4 years, though.
I know.
We're gonna have to. But that other guy,
Vance,
whatever, yeah, he's freaking pretty cool,
yeah,
man.
he's pretty sharp
He,
too.
boy, I watch him. They hammer him with questions, and he's right there, man. You know,
Yeah, he don't
and
bend.
like if they hit Kamala with that kind of stuff, she just goes, she, it's and walk away, man. No, he nails that shit, man. He's good.
Well, all the conservative politicians, for the most part, like governors and mayors and things, they all do a good job. It's these liberal
It's these woke
freaking,
freaking. And all
sanctuary
those people
city.
in charge of the fire and all that shit out there in California, they're all lesbians. Every one. Yeah, fat lesbian. You know? That means, fat, obese, that means mental ill.
But
Mentally ill, well, the whole package means mental illness, and you're
but that's
putting,
just it for
and a
entertainment
woman.
purposes
And a
only.
woman. That's what I said. Women should not be in political office or government offices. I don't know about, but they shouldn't be in charge of any uh, law enforcement or fire or none of that shit. It's like who was I talking about trade schools earlier, and I said I guarantee you one thing: if you ever get an electrician or a carpenter or a plumber or a bricklayer or a steel worker or anything like that to show up at your house to to work on your furnace or fix a plumbing or anything, it will not be a woman. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I have to agree with that one.
Guaranteed. It won't be a woman to come and fix anything.
I don't even see any women cable people coming out. I mean, even the cable people, there's never a woman.
No.
Huh. Wonder
How
why that
about
is.
that?
How about that, ladies? Let's hear from the ladies. Of course, you have, a right to
It's like
speak
that
your
one
mind.
woman. We went that one woman in L.A. We want if a policeman shows up your house, we want him to, or a fireman, we want you to feel comfortable about him and have him look just like you and be this like you. And this skinny little white woman said, if I have a fire or emergency at my house, I don't want some skinny white woman showing up. If they got to carry me out of a burning house, I want some big old 200-pound bruiser to carry me out of the house. I don't want to see nobody show up
Yeah,
looking like me
but Craig, not
to
you.
help.
If some fat guy, if you're in a burning house and a fat guy comes in there, you're gonna fat shame him and go, you're fat. Do you eat at McDonald's? And he's gonna go, all right, buddy, you can walk out on your own. We got a UK listener who's got something to say about this same topic. It says, Midnight Whiskey Massacre from the UK, and the government have been they've been covering up abuse of women and children.
Yeah, we talked about
They
that
have
on the last
even
podcast.
paid people to cover it up. There's over in the
Yeah,
UK,
Musk uncovered that. Yeah.
you guys are really bad over there. I mean, I was over there in 2003 or something like that, before the euro changed, I believe it was. And things were nice over there then. And I hear it's just all gone to shit, especially France.
Well, their infrastructure's old, man. All those old cities over there, they're all their sewer systems and all that shit. It's all old, man.
Yeah, Tartarian
It's
age.
all old. You know, all their buildings, a lot of their buildings are still really old, and everything's old. You know, they don't have no underground cables or nothing. Everything's, it's pretty old.
Um, and
It used to. I haven't
Anthony,
been over there in 20 years, so,
yeah, it's people I've talked to that's gone over there. They have a good time. They still have a good time. But it's not like it used to be. Anthony Witten would love to get your and my autograph on some stuff. What do you think about that? Oh, well, go to the Griff Martin merchandise. Go to the Griff Martin files, and I got a merchandise video on there. And also, I believe you can probably go to supportsurvivors.net and look there. And I got some stickers that Craig and Gene signed, and some posters that Craig and Gene signed. And all of that's on that video on the Griff Martin files. Check that out. And then you can contact me at edwg59@gmail.com. I'll try to remember to put that on the screen here.
Oh, yeah, leading into the same kind of situation. Dave the Disciple once said that he was going to make the T-shirts and sell them.
Yeah, I saw that.
That
Yeah.
whole thing. But he wrote me and he goes, "I've been throwing the numbers wrong, Craig, and it just ain't worth it. We'd have to
Right.
sell them. We'd
I
have
know.
to sell them T-shirts for $40 or $50 a piece to be profitable, to give those guys any money. It's just
Yeah,
not
because
worth it." And I said, that's the same reason I don't do it.
yeah, the shipping kills
I
you.
got those T-shirts, and by the time you buy the T-shirt and sell it out, by the time you buy the T-shirt, have it made and send it out, you have to sell it for. You got $30 in it, so you gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta sell it for 50 to make 20.
Except I sell mine for, I believe, 30. And so you guys want, I got this drawing on the back of a T-shirt, and it's like a baseball T-shirt. I sell them for $30. And edwg59@gmail.com. And then I've got a couple shirts that's got like this on the back of it. I think I got one or two of those, but I don't have any Hell House shirts right now because I've been kind of busy with the Christmas thing. But I'm going to get a load of those, and I make like about probably profit about $10 a shirt. But then a portion of that I use all my stuff for on the road with Griff Martin and my expenses, and on the website that I do, and then Craig and we have to buy Google memory, and we got to pay for the Zoom, and there's a lot of stuff we pay for, that we don't get reimbursed for. And Craig doesn't even do anything, but he sells eBay stuff, and I don't.
I sell
really-
one thing a week.
Yeah, I don't push much stuff. It comes in surges. People will say, "Hey, I want a necklace. Hey, I want a sticker. I want a poster." It kind of comes in surges, but I appreciate everything anybody can do. And I understand Dave the Disciple, man. You do enough. Dave does enough. If he stopped right now,
Well,
he did more than he could.
It's it's for the benefit the survivors, and you gotta sell a dozen shirts to make $120, and then
Yeah,
you don't really, and then really that's not all profit. It's just not worth it.
yeah, it's a
Not
pain
worth
in the ass.
messing with,
But
man. Running the post office and packing them things up.
I do it because, I think if it's any bit of profit, the shirts. I saw a thing on where Johnny and I forget who else it was. They were on talking about how they were using AI for their voice. And he says, that ain't me. That's not me. And then they're selling T-shirts that say, look up. Johnny said, that's not my shirt.
Yeah, if anybody can do it, counterfeit anything, and
Yeah, there's a lot of
they'll do
counterfeit
it.
and a lot of stealing of art and things. Um, yeah, moving along. David Hester, we were talking about trying to get Al Cooper on. He says Al Cooper may be too big for the Stoned Roadie show, or he may think he is. He's
I
kind
don't
of getting
know.
up there in age,
If I
man.
could talk to Al, I know Al. If I could talk to him, he might do it just for a chuckle. You never
Yeah,
know.
he might.
He's cool. He's a cool guy.
He's
It
pretty
just depends
famous.
it just depends on what day and what what kind of mood he's in.
He's a pretty famous guy, man. He's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like laying low.
Well, you don't see him often now. Maybe he's wouldn't mind doing something. You never know. I mean, I never see him on Joe Rogan or any of the other. You never see him do anything anymore. Maybe he would.
I wonder if doesn't he have a place out in California? I hope he's all
He used
right.
to live in Beverly Hills. Yeah, he used to live in
Yeah.
Beverly Hills. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he still does.
Then let me see here. Um, Susan McMaster. Craig, talk is cheap. She must be a prize winner. Yeah, Susan. She on the list, Craig?
Susan, what?
McMaster.
I don't think so.
She's jabbing at you.
Oh well.
Yeah. And then LS Freebird says, I always turn my water off. I had two coworkers who didn't, and when they were away, it flooded their place. Yeah. I was talking about I had that water leak. There's two things that people can do. I mean, I think clean your dryer vent out because they make a tool that will clean that out. That thing will catch on fire, man. I've seen a lot of that happen, especially gas. I think gas dryers are worse for that. But if you get lint build up in there, and you burn your house down, man. And then who knows, your insurance might have canceled your fire coverage and you didn't know it. And then turn your water valve off too, because you get a leak in your pipe and it'll flood your whole house, and now you got a mess going. It almost happened to me, but I turn my water off before I leave if I'm going to be gone for a day or two. Let me see here. Paolo Vincent says she's or he. Is that a he or a she? Sorry about that. I don't know. I should know if they're a he or a she because this is a long-time listener. Says they've got COVID that turned into pneumonia, and it gave them a smile to see Mike Estes when I played that intro. Old Mike Estes singing the intro.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, he's a cool guy, man. Old Estes. He's just a fun guy. And Pops, he's another one. I put that story out there on a short reel and TikTok of Pops talking about when he met Frank Zappa for the first time face to face, and he had a hangover and he went out over to his house, and old Zappa was sitting there at the breakfast table, and Pops. Hey, you want breakfast, Pops? No, man. He had a hangover. He said he wanted to puke. And he said old Frank Zappa says, "Oh, I know where you're coming from with that." Kind of broke the ice. And yeah, he's got some great stories. And we tried to get him back on, Craig, but he was having some surgery or something.
Yeah, he was having some kind of issues. Yeah, I think he's getting better. I see he's um, posting some stuff.
Oh, okay. Backcountry says they have tested Girl Scout cookies and have found them to be toxic with heavy metals like aluminum and arsenic and cadmium and lead and mercury. Yeah, even the Girl Scout cookies are poisoned, man.
There is no such thing as Girl Scouts anymore. It's just Scouts.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
think,
they're just the Scouts now.
yeah, that you can be well, the Girl Scouts, you can't be a Boy Scout. You can't be a boy, can't be a Girl Scout, but a girl can be a Boy Scout. That's the way I think it is. If I'm wrong about that, somebody let me know. But I don't think you can be a boy can be a Girl Scout. I mean, he might go in his sister's closet and get her try her dress on, but he can't officially be one. But a girl can be a Boy Scout. Pretty sure about that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. Angela Leonard says, "Thank you, Craig, for attempting to mail packages before either one of us die." Craig, man, you're getting some shit now. I think you might better try to start stepping up.
Hey, I'm trying to be the world's most famous liar, but I have to go a ways to do that with all these Democrats around. We got yeah. No, I could never do that. There's too many politicians out there. But yeah. Oh well.
Is that a picture of chemtrails behind you there, Craig?
Yeah, it's chemtrails.
Well, that's the end of the comments and the questions, and that's probably been an hour and 15 minutes or so, or maybe more. I don't know. But yeah, it's happy Monday. And
Yeah.
all you fat people that ate too much cake and dessert at Christmas and barbecue and stuff, it's time to start listening to the Craig Reed shame diet, and
Yeah.
including myself. I
Yeah.
think I bumped up about 5 pounds, Craig. So I need to get that off of there before something happens and you see me again.
Oh God. Somebody asked me today if I had any fat hanging from when I was obese. I said, no. I said the only fat I got is I got me a little chicken crawl under there that kind of won't go away that I notice on some of my podcasts when I turn sideways. I say, look, you got a gobbler there, Craig. But it was hanging pretty good. When I lost that 80 pounds, it was hanging pretty good.
Oh, did it
My
shrink
skin's
up?
pretty stretchy, yeah. I still got a little one.
Joe Crimp told me one time that Alan and he called each other turkey neck. Because Alan said, "We both got a turkey neck, Joe." I guess Alan thought he had a turkey neck. But I don't think either one of them really had a turkey neck that I could see.
All right. Well, I guess it's if you started listening to us when we began this morning, it should be a little after 7. So, good morning there, Stone Roadie Nation, and yeah, it's been lovely, and yeah, we're gonna call this podcast 271. Oh, good God, Gertie.
Man,
And
yeah.
yeah, Wake and Bake 100 and oh, what is it? Oh, 143 and 271. Wow. Looky there.
Yeah,
Never thought I'd
143 morning shows.
Yeah, 143. Yeah, morning shows. That's when we started doing these 3 times a week. Wow, boy, oh boy. How time flies when you're
Yeah,
happy.
please like and subscribe for the monetization for the plane crash survivors that they get the money.
Yeah. So I guess enough jibber jabber for an exit of this podcast. So we'll just say happy trails to you until we meet again, and see you later, alligator. And we're out of here, and that's a wrap. Cut.